In this video, we walk from Portstewart to Portrush along the coastal path, where we get to see stunning scenery and learn about the historical places along the way, before reaching the busy town of Portrush with its beautiful beaches. So join us as we explore the coastal path. Today we are walking the coastal path from Portstewart to Portrush. It's approximately 6 miles to our finishing point at Portrush East Strand. Along the way we border several golf courses and will see some historical places and scenic views before we make it to the busy town of Portrush. Our first historical place is coming into view now. Can you spot it? If you didn't spot anything, that is because this historical landmark is flat. It's coming into view now, right ahead of us. Still haven't spotted it? I'll give you a pointer. It's the concrete path in front of us. Now you're probably thinking, what's so special about a concrete path? Well, I'll show you from above. This is a target arrow, which was used during World War II to aid pilots in practice bombing runs out to a target at sea. Planes such as the Vickers Wellington would take off from Aganloo in Limavady. They would fly at low altitude over Portstewart towards an offshore target, usually a pontoon or marker buoy. As they navigated their way to the bomb run, they would look for the arrow to line themselves up, ready for their bombing run. On board, they had dummy bombs, which they would drop as close as possible to the target. Bullseye! They then made their way back to the airfield in Limavady. To the left of the arrow is the ruins of a small bunker. This was one of a series of observation posts along the coast which were used to monitor the aeroplanes during their bombing runs. Also along the shore are sections of brick and masonry, which are the remains of an observation tower which survived until 1972 when it collapsed during a storm. The path is popular with walkers and also people walking their dogs, especially on days like this. The path is also a great place for picnics, with numerous benches where you can sit and have a barbecue. The temporary buildings going up nearby are in preparation for the Northwest 200, Northern Ireland's answer to the Isle of Man TT. From the air we can see the pits area and the start-finish straight, as well as the chicane in front of the pits. It is Ireland's largest outdoor sporting event, attracting crowds in excess of 150,000, as well as the biggest names in the sport. The circuit links the towns of Portrush, Portstewart and Colin on its 8.9-mile lap. Check out my video from some years ago of the pits area, where I actually bumped into a motorcycle champion. The link will be in the description below. As the path hugs the coastline, it rises and falls with numerous steps that makes the path interesting, and you barely get a glimpse of the destination until you're much closer. She's going for it. She's going for it. This is one of the car parks dotted along the coastline, where you can park the car and have a picnic or barbecue, or walk a section of the path. From here we can just see Ramore Head in the far distance at the town of Portrush, but it will soon be out of view again as the path meanders along the coastline. There are some beautiful properties along the coastline, but I don't think I could live this close to the sea. This house is built on the location of an old salmon fishery, and you can still see the slipway going into the sea. The next historic landmark is just to the right here. It is the alleged grave of an unknown sailor. Not much is known, but it is thought he was buried here in the mid-1800s. There. Now we come to my favourite part of the walk. It's just a stream, but I like this setting. You have the option of crossing the bridge at the top of the stream, or taking these steps down and crossing the bridge at the bottom. We can clearly see the town of Portrush now, with its harbour and the headland of Ramor Head. As we pass Tide's restaurant, we know that the path will be ending soon, and we will have to walk along a short section of road before joining the promenade into Portrush. This is Arcadia, once a famous ballroom and entertainment venue that was once frequented by musicians such as the Dave Glover Band, the Stranglers, Stiff Little Fingers and Ian Dury and the Blockheads. Whilst the original part of the 1920s building remains, the former ballroom has since been transformed into a children's play area. The building now houses a cafe and an art gallery, and the space is also used for regular classes including yoga, Pilates and Tai Chi, and even as a wedding venue.